Hi, hello, and good evening or good afternoon, depending on where you are. We
Oh,
are
yeah.
super excited to be back in the Aussie world, back down under, to discuss Australian Survivor. We've missed it so much. Wait, get the proper sound.
There it
Not what I
is.
meant to- not what I meant to hit. I wanted the applause, or we'll do both. We'll do both. Because that is exactly where our podcast name came from. It came from Aussie culture.
Mm.
All right, we're so happy to be here because we missed the last season of Australian Survivor. I will say, I binge watched it over like a week and a half. So I'm caught up, and I I felt like something was missing in my life, like last night, not having an episode to watch. I was like, this has been my life for an entire month or so. Like, I don't have any Australian Survivor to watch. So,
Uh-huh.
happy to be back. This is what we're doing. Hello, Kelly. Hello,
Hi,
Kelly. Welcome to
Kelly.
the chat. Kelly. Woo, woo, woo. We are talking about Australian Survivor, Australia versus the world. Lots of familiar faces in here. Not so much Regina because she's
Uh-oh.
microphone issues.
See, you got shady with me and you knocked
That's
your
what I
microphone
get. That's
cable
what I,
out. You see how that happens?
karma. That's what
See how that
happens when you're a
happens?
sassy man. A sassy man. But we got lots to get into. We're going to be reviewing a lot this evening. So let's get into all this. I am Kyle Petty, and I am joined, as always, by my... It's not Festy Besties here. It's my favorite tribe mates. What does John say when he does Survivor?
I usually say fellow tribe mates, I think.
Fellow tribe mates. No, I'm gonna elevate y'all and say my favorite. I'm here with John Dunphy and Gina Morchino, and this is Strat Chat, arguably your favorite reality TV podcast. You can find us on all the socials at Strat Chat Pod, and again, we are absolutely thrilled to be back talking about Australian Survivor. So happy to be back down under. Got some notes here from the Wikipedia. We thank them so much. We thank them so much. Please toss them a donation of $2.75 if you use Wikipedia often. They're looking for donations. Make sure they keep their doors open, and we do need them. So please toss them a couple bucks if you have it. So
Sponsored by Wikipedia.
quite literally, and sponsored by TD Bank, who provided the ink and paper for my notes.
Oh my god.
So you know what? Let's start with reviewing the people that we're discussing right in this season.
Mhm.
This is a star-studded cast.
Unreal.
Yeah, it really is unreal. We've got some of the best that Australia has to offer, minus my
Truly.
king. All right, my
Well,
namesake.
and
Okay.
his absence is felt. I wish he was on here.
Yeah, his absence is felt.
Yeah.
Always miss you. Any American that's watching, that is where my name comes from. My name is not actually Petty Basal. I was very surprised by how much I put this out into the ethos, and people actually think it is my real name. No one at that Big Brother event that we went to, where we had our custom jerseys, no one actually thought that wasn't my name. So like I've definitely presented myself as a Basal, and I'm proud to say that I can use the name with approval. But, so we do miss our king, but we are gifted with another king. It's King George. Thoughts?
Oh, he thinks very highly of him. Oh, we know this already. We know that
I
George
was gonna say
thinks
that
very
is
highly.
not
Yeah,
news.
that's not
Why
new.
are you acting like this is
You-
new this season?
It's not news, but like this is the first time he really irritated me. I gotta say.
and
Oh,
I
really?
I think I know why. I think I know why, at least for me, because I
Please
agree.
Tell me, because
Yeah,
I don't know why this has been different for me, but I can't stand this man.
Yeah, I feel like in the previous seasons that George was on, and George does some good things. He does he can manipulate people. Like
Mm-hmm.
he can control a game at times. You know, he can do that. But I feel like in the previous times that he played, he was playing with other people that like just weren't as good at the game. And like this is literally like the best collection of Survivor players you could probably put
Mm-hmm.
together right now.
Right.
Basically, pretty, you know, a couple of people that are missing, like we said, are King Ferris, and there's some other, you know, players that are legends that would have been good on a season like this. But like this is the absolute highest quality of competition that I think George has had to face. So all of these little tricks and schemes that were so easy for him to pull off before with weaker players, these people are like, George, we're not going to fall for this crap. like we're just as good, if not better than you. So like when you try to pull all this stuff that you've pulled for years, like it's not going to come off the same way.
That's so
I agree
interesting
with
to
that.
me. Like, even like the last 2 seasons that I've watched of George, like I have always found his hubris to be very grating, personally. But like, I let it slide because he is a phenomenal Survivor player. So it's like, yeah, I don't know that I would like hang out with him, but like, I have to respect his gameplay because I think he's a phenomenal Survivor player. I just find him to be irritating because he thinks so highly of himself, which like seeing him this season, I was like, yep, that's exactly what I expected to feel while I was watching him do his confessionals. So like it's so interesting to me that you guys
Um,
had a different experience.
you know, hmm. I feel like what's different for me with George this particular season, and I will say, I am exceedingly happy that he is gone. Um, but like I think what was different for me this time is like while the hubris was the same, I felt that it was a little bit more deserved. Australian Survivor had not really solidified its place in this Survivor, the international Survivor world, right? So like George really did kind of spearhead something
Mhm.
there, and his strategic gameplay was very different from anything that we had seen. But my issue with him is that like if you want to be that cocky, like I feel like that's one thing, but like I don't think you get to continue calling yourself King George when you've never won. Like
Right.
that was very very fun in the beginning, and then you lost the first time.
Did he?
I
Oh, I
don't.
forgot he lost the first time. I was under the
Yeah.
impression he won that season. I
No,
don't know
no,
why.
he lost the first time, and it's like, okay, someone caught on to you and they stopped it. Fine. You played a second time and you lost again. And it's like we've got people like my namesake that have one that we are not bestowing, this adornment to. And like it starts to like bother me. And it's like, all right, so why do you think that you're a king when as well as you have played, as revolutionary as you have been, you have failed to actually win. So you don't get to keep carrying this title. Like it's just
Yeah, and I feel like
I'm over
Sorry.
it.
I feel like one thing that has not really annoyed me, but there were a few times like as we got into the second episode, third episode, it feels like every 10 seconds someone in this show is referring to themselves as a god or a king or a queen or
Wow.
whatever. And so like that's another part of the reason that I'm kind of happy that David and George are both gone. How many times do we have to hear Golden God? 20,000 times in an episode? Like,
I'm so sick of it.
like,
I'm so sick
um,
of it. And I've never been a David fan, so like
right. But
Yeah, see,
like,
David was unfumiliar to me, so I have
yeah.
no real opinion.
But what's funny to me
consider
about
that a
this,
blessing. Gino won on that one.
um, like what's funny to me about this though is that like it doesn't even bother me as much when Luke calls himself the king of the jungle or something, right? Because when George calls himself the king of King George of Bankstown or whatever, he is saying that because he actually believes that he is better than every single person on that island at this game, even though he has never won. Whereas
Mm.
whereas Luke calls himself the king of the jungle, and I think of it more of like he calls himself that because he's wild and he just does crazy things and he
Yeah,
goes
he's
looking for
wild
idols
and
and he's
chaotic and he makes
yeah
his own decisions regardless who's following him. I put no real stock behind that because I don't think that he really thinks he's the best player to ever play.
right.
These two, George and David, they really do think they are the best ever. And like
Hmm.
David, you did win once. I don't want to take some shine away from the fact that you won an all-star season, right? So for a lot of the decorations that we want to give to Tony, which we'll certainly get to later, you did win an all-star season, even though you didn't win your first one. So not as impressive as Tony, but you won it among people who you would think should be better, right? So good for you. Good for you. But you won once. Like, just calm down. His whole outburst when he went to approach Kirby when she was floating in the water, it's like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to go up there. It's just so humiliating. The amount of times that I rewound that moment, I was like, I'm just so happy to see this man so upset. And like,
Right.
you are so unhinged in this moment. Like, I can't even believe this is something we're like looking at. And it's like, why would you put this in the episode knowing that he's the next host of this show and this is the last behavior we see? Like, what a mess. Like, what a mess.
Was he also
so much?
Was it David that was the one that referred to George as the ray gun of Australian Survivor? Because that really still was the most disrespectful thing I've ever heard someone say about somebody.
I have to be honest. You're really pressed about this ray gun thing. I didn't say anything in the group chat because I don't know what any of
I had a feeling that you didn't know.
It's the breakdancer, right?
Yeah. Do you remember in the Olympics there was like that one famously bad breakdancer this past Olympics?
The only thing I remember from the Olympics is Simone.
No, it went like viral online that there was like that they added breakdancing to the Olympics this year, and then one person who I believe was from Australia was like, "All right, like I'm championing bringing breakdancing to the Olympics. This is like I'm the reason why this is here," and it was like me trying to be a breakdancer, and like it was like rough, and like her name is Gun, and like it went. I'm gonna send you a video. I'm sure you've seen it, but like it went viral all over the place of people being like, what the hell is this? So to refer to George as the ray gun of Australian Survivor is so disrespectful.
Do you see that?
Yeah, there she is.
Oh, I've never seen that. Yeah, I'm excited to see
I'll
that.
send you the video. Yeah.
Yeah, this is her though. This is
so
her.
Bad.
It was such an embarrassing display of breakdancing, as if I can breakdance, but like,
so you have to make sure that we can get that so we can actually share it in the stream. I would love it. Wait, share it in the group chat. Maybe there's a world that I can make it happen.
Right now?
Keep talking just share it. Whatever John had, was it from YouTube? Just share it. We'll see if we can. We'll see if we can work it out. But all right, so that's George. That's George. As John's working on that, we will move on to Princess Duchess Shawnee. This bitch, I love her so much. I don't care that she hasn't won. She's so fun. I mean, just her whole personality. Like, even if she doesn't win, she doesn't really give a fuck. Like, she is just here for a good time. Because she just enjoys the game so much, and it's like, win or lose, she's just here for fun. She's here to play. But she's here because she just enjoys the game. It's almost like somebody who plays Risk. And it's like, I go into this game. I know very well that there's a very good chance I may not win. But I'm going to enjoy the ride. And that's what she is. I always love to see her. I stan her so much. And obviously John does too. Because that is why he selected his maiden name.
Maiden name.
I just like the word maiden. I know it's wrong. It's good.
That's not what I mean.
I know it's wrong. I know it's wrong. It's just funny to say for a male. That's all. Maiden name. But John is just very funny. That's all.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I love Shawnee so much.
Fucking love her. She's so hysterical. Yeah, she's the best.
And it's funny, right? Because I know we've heard Parvati talking about how like she has played almost as much or more Survivor than like anyone else in the world. But I think Shawnee's the one who's played more days of Survivor than any other Australian, right? So,
I believe so, yeah.
So she has, even though she hasn't won, she definitely is, I think, a legend in her own right. And I love Shawnee so much.
That's why they knew they had to have her, though. Like, if we're doing something like this, we have to get her.
Of course.
There's no question. Yeah. No, she's amazing. She's everything.
I did also think it was just crazy that like George tried to like pull his shit with Shawnee as if he didn't like she was the person that you burned last time. You really think that she of all
Right.
people is going to be like, I'll let that happen again?
I can't
Yeah,
stand him. I just can't stand
he's
him.
crazy.
He's
That like
just so ridiculous.
yeah, I was a little like I was nervous with that one vote where Shawnee voted David out. Not that I wasn't upset, not that I wasn't like happy to see David go. I mean, but like there was a part of me that was like, oh my god, Shawnee, write down George's name. So like, I'm glad that they
Mhm.
finally did get him anyway. But like, yeah, George is crazy. That whole thing with Luke and Janine, so just walking up to them going, "We're putting 2 votes on you, Luke, and 2 votes on you, Janine. So what are you guys gonna do about it?" It's like, all right,
I'm just like, who do you think you
yeah.
are?
But I know we're not on George anymore. But
Yeah.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
um, but yeah,
But
Shawnee's the best.
oh, well, we'll certainly get to that when we get to the actual episodes and such. Obviously, Kirby. You know, I really like Kirby. I always
Me
liked
too.
Kirby. The only thing I didn't like Kirby is that she was going after Ferris. But otherwise, like I like how she played the game, and I think she's
Mhm.
fantastic, and I think she's doing an excellent, excellent job. Um, Super
She,
excited to
yeah,
see where Kirby goes. I will say the end of this 3rd episode kind of left her in a little bit more of a vulnerable position than she was in the beginning of the game. But I'm still excited for her. I'm excited for her.
Mhm.
I I just love like. There's a lot of things I love about Kirby. Like she's so much fun to watch. I think she's incredibly smart and strategic. Like just so good at it. And I think it's funny that like we were talking about someone like George who thinks so highly of himself, but like clearly got outplayed by all these other people. And then you look at someone like Kirby in the first episode, like before they even did that first reward challenge, and they were like introducing themselves, and you had Kirby there, like, yeah, I've only played 1 season and I had never watched Survivor, so I don't know who any of you are. And like,
I love it. I
yeah,
loved it.
and then the whole thing like we said about her like George literally blowing up her spot and then Kirby just like going into the into the water and laying there. Like she's so unbothered, nothing, she doesn't panic. She makes her
Mm-mm.
moves and when she gets in trouble, she finds a way to get out of it. Most of the time, anyway, if she's not playing against Ferris, you know. But
Yeah. No, love her.
yeah.
Love her. Anything for Kirby, Jeans?
I mean, she was my number 1 draft pick her season. So like I loved her from the very start. I have continued to love her ever since. I'm very excited to see where this goes. I have high hopes.
Yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, me too. We talked about David enough on that. I think we kind of touched on Luke. I don't really have any additional thoughts. I always
Luke's,
enjoy seeing. I think it's fun. He has
yeah.
an idol.
Yeah.
Um, we're gonna do like little 4-minute deep dives into these episodes. We're just gonna read the Wikipedia notes, give our commentary, and move on. Because it is late. But Luke, I mean, does anybody have anything that they want to add to this man?
No, I think you're right. Just we touched on him already, and he has an idol. I think
Uh,
that's yeah.
Excellent.
So
Janine, you know where I stand with Janine. I think that Janine is the bee's knees. I think she's absolutely fantastic. I think that Pia owes her entire win to Janine and her facial expressions and coaching during tribal, and the way that she managed. I think that I really do believe, and you don't have any proof of this, but I think that Janine really managed that jury a lot in Pia's favor. Um, that's just Janine's missed, if you will. I just think she's the best. I fucking love her. I love her so much. And apparently, she's a very successful businesswoman. She owns a juicing company or something. A juicing
Janine's
location.
juice.
It is that that can't be what it's called. That's not
I'm
that.
like, did you make that up or is that real?
That can't be what it is. That
I don't
actually sounds vulgar.
Yeah, no, it does. But that's what George kept saying. Oh, I'm gonna juice Janine, and I'm gonna do
Right,
this.
and because I believe that she owns a juicing company, but I would be really hard pressed to believe that it is called Janine's Juice. I would hope that's not the case, but if
it's
it
called.
was, I would like a cup. I'd
It
like
says
a large.
it says that she founded. It's called Boost Juice.
I
So
need a boost.
it's Janine's Boost Juice.
Yeah, she's fantastic. I love her. I just love. I adore her. She's wonderful, Queen Janine, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Then we've got Sarah. I mean, I did watch her season, and apparently she made it far. I not very impactful to me. Nothing
I
really
don't know
resonates.
Sarah.
Her face is familiar to me, but
I remember liking her on her season. I do think though that like, and I think she was a pretty good player, but I feel like for me anyway, I feel like of this whole Australian team, like they're all good players, but like Sarah's the most boring to me in terms of like everyone else seems more exciting and like the drama that they can bring up. Like Sarah seems much more like even this like what was it she said to in that tribal council or whatever, like because she her and David are friends or whatever. But she made that comment like, "Oh, I'm trying the loyalty way this year or whatever." And it's like, so you're just gonna do whatever anybody else tells you to do. You're not gonna save your friend. Like, what about the loyalty of your friend David?
right. But I mean, since we're hopping around, we'll hop around. I don't know about that though. I don't know about that. I actually thought that was a good decision for Sarah.
I think it was a good
Because
decision. I just
yeah, because at the end of the day, like she does know her friend and she knows how he plays the game. And she knows that like he would see her as a resume boosting move. So like he's not actually going to value you in the way that someone that has an outside personal relationship with would value someone. She knows that. So it's like if I have an opportunity here before David hits them with his spray, then like I need to just maybe jump on it and I can also capitalize on the fact that I'm doing this under the guise of extreme trust, you know. But I'm sure she also still had some trepidation in that one because it's like, there's still a version of this where I can trust somebody I know more than trust a stranger because at least I can read my friend and I can know if he's lying to me.
yeah
Um, uh, yeah, I find Sarah interesting for that reason. I think she's made interesting decisions. But I don't want to knock how she's playing the game because in a game that's as accelerated as this, when is the right time to build that trust with someone? And someone has to be first.
yeah.
So, what
This
does it mean if Sarah didn't go that way? Does that then mean that Kirby would never want to work with her going forward? And it's like, where do I want to put my eggs?
Yeah.
Into David, who I know how he plays this game, and he could see me as a bullet point on his resume, or Kirby, who is new to me, who I did watch her season. I saw she played a loyal game. If I
Not
am to believe her, maybe she's the way I should go.
not to mention she's also new to everyone else. So like Kirby doesn't necessarily have other built-in alliances of people that she would be more loyal to than you.
yeah
And to that same point, she like John said, she was like, I don't know anybody. I don't know
Mhm.
any of you. I haven't watched
yeah.
any of these things. So like maybe that is the way to go because you're starting completely fresh with this
Yeah.
person. Um,
Although I will
yeah.
say, after that whole David vote, I did not like her being like, "Oh well, I took David out for you, so now you have to take Shawnee out for me." I was like, "All right, here, Shawnee just voted with you, all right." But
Yes,
that's also because
and
I love Shawnee. So.
right. That's exactly where I was going to go with that because I agree with you, but I don't think that what she was asking for was unreasonable. I almost liken this to Emily from Friends. Emily, we slide a lot because it's like, oh, how can you ask him to give up all these things? It's like, but you're asking her to give up all of these things to move to America. And it's like Kirby did ask Sarah to give up all of a relationship that she's had outside of a game for her. Doesn't she have the right to ask for something back? Especially if you're
Yeah,
saying that everyone's strangers. So it's like, is it really more of our emotional attachment to Shawnee, or is Sarah really asking for something that's actually pretty reasonable?
Mm.
I didn't like that she asked it. I didn't like that it was happening at all. But I was like, I get it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So come on. You gotta give Sarah something. Maybe she doesn't get the whole rose, but she does deserve a handful of petals.
A handful of petals.
A handful of petals.
You guys love my metaphors. And my
They're silly.
yeah. Oh, I try. Um, So let's start with the top row of, unless there's anything else for Sarah. I'm sorry. Anything else for Sarah?
Not
No,
yet.
I don't think so. No.
Okay. So we got Tony here. Tony's a threat. Tony's a threat. And happy to say that he is repping our failing country. He is a winner of Survivor 2 times. Okay. Won a regular season and then came back to play an All Stars game and won again. I think that's really worth noting. You played a
That is
game with
crazy.
people who are listed as champions of it and won again. Ah,
Hmm.
there's a lot to be said there.
Yeah,
I'm just
Tony's
excited to
incredible.
see Tony, especially because he was so disrespected when he played the Traitors.
I
What was he
know.
like,
Yeah,
second or third boot? Maybe fourth, but like very early, very early.
such a
Um,
shame.
yeah. So I'm excited to see him, and I really think that he's living up to expectations so far. Um,
He's like it's funny. These tribes are weird too to me a little bit, just because like it's like each tribe has 4 women and 3 men, and the
hmm.
first 2 people out were men. So like we're already seeing like the women sort of take over, and we've seen in some of these episodes and like the next ons and stuff that Tony is very wary of this. Uh, so it'll be interesting to see how he sort of maneuvers, because we see Suri and Parvati doing
You
their
said
Black
two,
Widow
but
thing.
it's really three. All three
Yeah.
were men.
Oh yeah! Oh my God, you're right. Oh my God.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, because it was, yeah, you're right. David,
Mm-hmm.
Rob, and George. Um, so yeah, I guess we'll see how that all shakes out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, we shall. I still think Tony's gonna be okay because I feel like Tommy still has a problem, and we'll get to Tommy. We'll get to Tommy. Um, I want to rush to Suri. We're
I
so
know. I'm
excited to
like, that's
see
my
Suri.
mom.
So excited to see Suri. And
I
like what's
know.
exciting for me is that I did actually, even though Survivor is not my number one show, it's number two. It's number two. I'm not disrespecting it. But like, I met Suri on her original seasons of Survivor and loved what she did there. So it was super exciting for me to see her in the Big Brother house. And it's exciting for me again, especially after the Traders as well. And now we get to see her back in her environment. Like, Mama is home. Nah, see that? Nah. It's like, thank God. Like, she's back. And she's doing exactly what she always did. She's playing with the girls. She's got this backseat kind of a role, but like that isn't really backseat though, because she is kind of like she's in control of some things. Gosh, Cerise's
Yeah,
back. And I'm excited.
it's awesome. She is the queen. I love her so much. And like, there were a couple of moments that I loved. One, when the American team, or the world team, sorry. I don't know, when the world team was walking in, and you just heard somebody on the Aussie side go, "Oh, I see Suri, I see Suri," and it cut to her, and she was like, "Oh, I heard my name," and I'm like, "You like." Suri has, like, everybody just respects this woman and loves this
Right.
woman, and like
I
it,
love it.
I
I
understand
love it.
why. And it's,
Yep.
you know what else is really fun? It was really fun to see Suri in, play Big Brother and play the Traders and stuff. It's always fun to see her, but I got a smile lit up on my face seeing Suri and JLP on the same screen.
Oh, I mean, for me, it was seeing Suri and Parvati reunited.
Yeah, that's true
Oh
too.
my
Yeah,
gosh, in their natural habitat, like so fantastic to me.
I'll say
I think
too,
it's
like
just wonderful.
I never really watched. I have only seen like new school Survivor in terms of like US Survivor. So like I've
Mhm.
seen pieces of Cerise's games. Like I've seen the whole like idol thing. Like I've seen like like her like iconic moments. But like I only really know Cerise from the Traders and from Big Brother, and she just glows so different on Survivor. Like there's just something
Yes,
about it that it's like this is my home. Like I know these
right.
streets.
yeah,
Hence
she
my
really,
singing. Yes, she
yeah.
is back home. She is where she belongs. Like this is it is just where she's supposed to be. Um and I would encourage you to go back and watch some of those older seasons because the older seasons are also they're a little shorter. Um and it's original American Survivor, you know.
Yeah.
is a survivor that it's supposed to be, not all these other gimmicks and all this other crap. Where does the broccoli grow and broccoli, broccoli, broccoli? Like no, it's like a real game, and it's like you really would enjoy it. So I would encourage you to go back. You got like a day off or something, and you just want to like lay around in your sweatpants and like heat up a bag of kettle corn.
Sure.
Go find a Cerise season. You're gonna have a great day. But to see Cerie and Parvati linking up again is so iconic. It's so iconic. It's so incredible. It's such a gift. It's such a gift. It's something I did not think I'd be seeing at 40 and a half, and we are blessed to have it. Parvati is just I'm so excited about her too. I did not watch her on Deal or New Deal Island. I will not acknowledge that as a real show. It's terrible. No. But, good for her for getting booked. But we love Parvati and just excited to see more. I just excited. I don't have anything more on that. I really love her. Yeah.
I agree.
Parvati, too, I only know from the traitors. Like, I've never seen any of her Survivor seasons either.
I saw the season she won, and I saw the season she didn't. Yeah. She's an interesting character, and I understand why both happened.
Right, it's just so fun to watch her work, like just to like the way that she can talk to people.
Mist.
Like, yeah, it's awesome. It's incredible.
Yeah, I love it. Now, this bottom row, this is where we're going to start to get a little short, right? Because we are not familiar with these people. Now, I've heard a lot of very, very positive things about Survivor South Africa, and I will say Rob was only known to me because of that. I've heard amazing things about the way that he plays. Unfortunately, we did not get to see that on display in this season. There were glimpses of it. The way that he came for Parvati at that tribal, like, I liked it. It was spicy, but you didn't have enough foundation really to kind of go after that. Like, you weren't really in the position of power to do that. That's
right.
If like, oh, this could be a 5-4 vote. This could get me one more. You were
right.
A deficit. It was too late. It only served to hurt you, which it did. But it makes me more intrigued to watching his season.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like with Rob, to me, like when the first episode first started, like he was someone that I was looking at. I was like, oh, he could be fun to watch on this season. And it was just as the episode progressed and they were separated after the reward challenge and went to their separate camps and all this stuff. He just dove headfirst in and started playing like balls to the wall the second they got to their camp. Like the second they got there, like And it's funny because I think we mentioned Kyle. I think you said earlier, like, I think in regards to Sarah about like the David move, it's like this is a very quick, fast, short game. So when
he
felt
make
like
the move, he had to,
right? And it's like so in such an accelerated game, you have to play faster. But he somehow found a way to play way too fast.
Too fast. And I do think that that's an interesting element to this season as well, because while they've all played this game before, and that's obviously the appeal, but it's also interesting though that they've never played a game that is this fast. None of them. So it's like they're still in kind of uncharted territory. Sure. And I wonder if that's, Rob was like a victim of that. Yeah. Maybe he's like, oh, I really need to speed things up. Maybe he just went a little too far.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. I don't have any thoughts on Lisa, except that I'm just worried for her. I'm worried for her. She seems to be wrapped in Cerie's mist. Yep. She's so excited to work with Cerie, and like Cerie is gonna burn you, babe. She's gonna burn you.
Right. It's so crazy to me that like anybody that knows Cerie that well to feel so comfortable with her, it's like now I know you've watched her before.
Right. It's like, what are you doing? Like, come on, you won your season, even though you obviously, your series was canceled. Subsequent.
That did make me laugh when she was like, I'm the reigning champion because it was canceled after I won. I love that.
I like that too.
I think it's funny to me because like she is a former winner and there are people in there who haven't won. And it's like, somehow you as a winner seem like the only person in the cast that's never played this game before. I don't.
Yeah, I guess it'll be interesting to see how that plays out, though, because sometimes a silent person that isn't making a lot of waves can actually like thrive in this type of environment because you've got a bunch of people that all feel like they have something else to prove. Suri always being touted as the one person who's the best player to never win.
Mhm.
Parvati, who has a win, and then it was on Traders and then Deal or No Deal Island with David, and like she feels like she's got to kind of keep her crown intact. You've got Tony, who won twice, certainly not coming in here thinking he wants to lose. And you're playing against so many other winners and people with high things. Like maybe Lisa feels like, you know what? These are people who might be playing a little bit more flashy. Maybe I should take a step
Mm.
back.
Yeah. And I don't mean
And,
I don't mean to put any disrespect on Lisa's name. It's just funny because it's
oh,
like
I didn't take it that way. No, I
at
just think
least
it's a fun conversation. Yeah.
yeah, and but it's just that's what. Cause I agree with you. It seems
Mhm.
like she like I am a little concerned because it seems like so far it's been basically like I want to work with Suri, and that's like all we've kind of gotten
Right.
out of her.
Mm-hmm. That is, and that does give me concern. But then it's also like, well, if you know Suri, are you playing her a little bit, thinking that
Hmm.
you've got somebody? If she strikes first, she could surprise Suri, because Suri could just be thinking, her miss is just doing what it does. I've
Yeah.
got you captivated, and then all of a sudden Lisa's like, lies. Oh, kisses from New Zealand. Like, who
Yeah.
knows? Like, yeah.
There's one other thing about Lisa that I thought was very good for her was in the competition where they had to, as a team, all hold up the sandbags, and if any
Mhm.
single person dropped even one sandbag, the whole team was out. And from the very beginning, like 5 minutes in, Lisa looked like she was struggling, and I was nervous for the world team. And
Yeah.
then what was it?
She did not
Almost
stop.
almost 2 hours
Mhm.
later, she's still standing there holding that bag up.
Yeah.
So that I thought was a good showing for Lisa right off the bat in competitions. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it wakes you up to some things. It wakes you up to some things because the way that she started, Australian Survivor. If this sticks with its original format, that final challenge, that final endurance challenge, is always something really challenging. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
standing on those pegs or like whatever it is. You got the water rushing up, depending on like what season
Yeah.
we're
Yeah. Yeah.
referring
Yeah.
to. But like they really put them through it, through anything more than I think we've seen in America. So like if this is
Oh,
how
by
Lisa
far.
performs, yeah. This is how Lisa performs under pressure in this, really, really struggling and visibly struggling. I don't know. She might be one to watch in a challenge like that. You don't want Lisa to get that far, and maybe playing under the radar the way that she is,
Yeah,
maybe that gets her there.
you're right.
Yeah. I'm talking myself into being even more of a Lisa fan. I didn't come into tonight loving her like that. I was like, Lisa. I even forgot what her name is. But now, as we're talking about it, it's like, now, wait a minute. Lisa. Lisa could have it. Lisa could have
Yeah.
it.
Yep.
She's got what's going on. I don't think her threat level, especially once you get to merge, I don't think her threat level is up there
Right.
with the
Right.
rest of the people that could be left.
I think
So
she'll be the one that people are like, oh, let's get Lisa in. She's another vote for us, and like, and they'll
Lisa's a
just
number.
and they'll just keep doing that every tribal. Lisa will
Yep.
just be there, and she'll always be on the right side of the vote or something.
Yeah, and she's gonna be like, "Hey, I was the bomb," and then win that endurance thing, bring some idiot, and then done.
Bring some
Who knows?
idiot.
Except that I don't think we really have idiots here, but you know what I mean. I'm really
Mm.
just speaking more to the game than the contestants. But yeah, 3 cheers for Lisa. Thank you, New Zealand, for your tribute. Um, hailing from Finland, we have Tommy. I have nothing.
Yeah, I
Um,
really don't either.
He's given
Not a
me
10 for all
0. And that is why I kind of think that. So you were saying before that, Tony being, really one of two men, on this, this 4-2, women male split here. I don't know that Tony needs to worry because I think that Parvati and Suri would see the value in keeping Tony,
Yeah.
especially knowing that in a game this accelerated, we're going to get to merge soon, and they're going to need numbers. they're not cutting Tony, and I think that Suri and Parvati are skilled enough to make sure that Lisa and Cass go with Tony. I think he's
Yeah.
going to be okay. Um, I
Yeah.
think Tommy's got problems,
Yeah.
just because he doesn't have a foundation. If there are
If
more
yeah.
Finland people, then maybe.
Right. I feel like Tommy just like I don't know where he fits in. Like at least Lisa and
Right.
Cass, we saw them working with Suri and Parvati talking about how they could
Mhm.
be a really formidable, women's alliance and all that. Like so at least Lisa and Cass, it seems like they have something going on with their games. Tommy, it
Yes.
just feels like he's just kind of there and he seems like a nice guy, but I don't know what his game is gonna turn out to be. Like maybe that'll change next week,
Agreed.
but right
Agreed.
now yeah.
Yeah, I feel like there's been a couple of conversations between Tommy and Tony, kind of acknowledging that like they're the only two men and blah blah blah. But like, I really don't. Again, I don't think that Tommy needs to worry unless you think there's some potential of there being a different kind of split between Cass, Tommy, Lisa versus the Americans.
Hmm.
There is that because Cass does have that idol that she did
Mhm.
not
That's right.
share with anybody else.
That's right.
Which
So there is.
was perfect.
Yeah, yeah. I'm happy that Cass has that because I feel
Uh-huh.
like these other people from the world don't really have the foundation that the Australians and the Americans have. Because right
Right.
I just, like,
underneath the Australians is the Americans, is the numbers. What are these
I
people
was
supposed to do?
I was surprised that Parvati was so free with letting the so many other people know that she had the key to the box, that she had the like now like so many people know about it. So like I was kind of worried at first when Cass found that she was gonna like feel a certain loyalty or whatever. I
Mm,
was so relieved when she was like, I'm not like that. You
I'm
told
not
me
telling
about that. That's
anybody.
on you. This is mine, and I'm
Right.
not telling anybody about it.
Yep. And I think that could serve her well.
Absolutely.
I like how Cass is playing so far. I'm excited about her. I'm happy to meet her.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like her a lot.
I would watch her season of Quebec, but I feel like she probably spoke in French the entire time, like Big Brother does. So
Mm.
I don't think I'd really be affected by the mist.
Would you watch a season of that with like subtitles if you could find it? I don't know how much I would enjoy. I mean, having the I guess we use subtitles even here when people are whispering and stuff. But like to watch the whole
Well,
show that way.
I think I would. I think I would. I think it would. It'd be a slower watch. To be one of those things that you maybe watch just like one episode a night. Like you're not going to binge that because you don't always want to pay that level of attention to
Yeah,
things.
yeah,
But for a game like this, if the gameplay is as good as Australian Survivor is, then yeah, I would. I
okay,
would not do that for American Survivor.
yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
Gina's like,
I feel that.
yeah, like yeah, no. So there's that. So real quickly, because I feel like we kind of touched on a lot of the things from the episodes here. That first reward challenge was, one player from each team racing down this water slide under the net, then throwing the sandbags to ring a bell. Whatever. World won. They got some items, including the box that we were talking about. I don't really think the rest of the items really matter. Blah, blah, blah. This is where Parvati told Rob that, she played Deal or No Deal Island with David. Let's see, back at Aussie Beach again. Thank you, Wikipedia. Back at the Aussie Beach, George was looking to make amends with Shawnee. Doesn't feel like he wants to work with her again. Oh, and obviously Shawnee, going to work with Kirby. That's where all that started. And then George. Oh, right, George attempted to bond with David and Luke.
Oh God.
Yes. And Wikipedia says they were kind of too wary of him, but I believe that this is actually the conversation that they formed that alliance, the Power Bottoms.
Yes.
I almost peed my pants when they said, "Let's call ourselves the Power Bottoms."
Yeah, the Power Bottoms, which has basically been obliterated.
Literally.
So that is basically the worst alliance in Australia versus the world, with a king and a god, two kings and a god. All right, so there's that. There's that. They played the immunity challenge. The tribes maneuvering heavy blocks through an obstacle course and using them to build a staircase to climb a tower, and they fire slingshots and blah blah blah. This one was really interesting because David, he did impress me on this one, the way he pushed that box up.
Yeah, this
Oh
this
my
was
god,
great.
that was crazy.
That was
That was crazy. These competitions, Australian Survivors just knows how to do these comps better.
They're
than
built so
any other.
different.
Oh my gosh, they're built so different, and they're just so much better. There's so much more fun to watch. There's so much more even in a weird way.
Yeah,
they're just fantastic.
it's just I don't know what it, and I'm glad that so far we've had 3 episodes, and the world players have won 2 of the immunity challenges, right? So it's like because I'm wondering how are these other players from other places going to do in the Australian setting, like in those types of comps, will they struggle more? So I'm glad that it has it, but they've been doing well. So
Gina, anything more on the immunity challenge?
I mean, truly, like, I was getting frustrated because watching the Americans have such a clear lead and then blowing it as badly as they did, I was like, guys, it is so easy to just continue doing what you've been doing. I don't know why we're now acting like we have to argue about which order these boxes need to be brought up in, because that was the reason why Australia was able to like zoom in.
Right.
Yeah,
Because we took so much, because the America took so much time being like, oh well, I don't know, do you want to bring the third one up first, or and like all the time that it took for them arguing about it, Australia caught up to them, and then he had the box on his back, and it all happened so fast, and it was like we had no hope anymore.
Yeah, I will also add that the world tribe they skew a little older than the Aussie tribe as well. And there's a part of me that almost feels like that maybe they were intentionally slowing some things down because they had to bring.
I mean,
like that. That's what I would do as fatty.
Yeah, I think
I'm like, let's just slow this down.
After they voted Rob out, right? And he's like probably one of the younger guys, obviously the biggest and strongest on the team.
Mm-hmm.
In the next immunity challenge, the one with that big battering ram, which they won, there was a point where they had taken the lead, and they like kind of slowed down a little bit, and Tony was like, "It's fine, we have to rest. We have to rest." Like he was yelling at the team.
Right. They're just a little older, so like that is worth mentioning. Yeah. So episode 1, we had to speed this up. It's getting late. Team Aussie, they won immunity. After the challenge, Rob had asked David and Luke to look for a key on the beach. Blah blah blah. Parvati overhears. Rob had asked Parvati who she wants to vote for, and he suggested going out to Suri. And then Tommy and Cass separately approached Suri and Tony about voting out Parvati. Didn't love that. Lisa's annoyed by Rob's commandeering play style and considers joining the Americans to blindside him instead. And that is indeed how we lose Rob from Australia Survivor.
Sorry, Rob.
Sorry, Rob. Yeah. Not before, Rob had exposed Parvati's, relationship to David at Tribal. But no one cared. They still got Rob out anyway. So that's that. That was episode 1. For the second one, we didn't have a reward challenge in this episode. This episode was a little shorter. We opened the episode with Luke stealing the bananas. All right, he took the bananas. All right, he said he's hungry. They need some carbs. That's what they said. Only shared with Shawnee and David, who wanted to build their trust. He got an idol. Did not share with anybody. That has certainly been a flarn in Luke's games prior to this. So good for him for being hush hush. David attempted to bond with Kirby. But she's a little iffy on that. She didn't love that.
She said no.
Yeah, she was like, and so she went to George and talked about potentially blindsiding David. But George, favored the safer vote out, and he wanted to go for Queen Janine. And this is where we saw Sarah bonding a little bit more with Kirby. Okay. At the World Beach, Parvati, shifting tribe dynamics, blah blah. The women, we kind of talked about the women before. Tony notices the girls' majority, and he's a little worried that Serene Parvati won't remain loyal to him. I do think that's probably foreshadowing for something that will come later, but I don't think we're really there yet. I do think that they will still stay strong through merge. Unless they try to say, as a show of faith to Cass and Lisa, let's do Tony. He won twice. Maybe that will make you guys feel better about keeping Tommy as these international people, and we stay strong as the two Americans. There's a world where that could be.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
You're right. Yeah.
Anybody else have any other notes before I continue on?
No.
As we're charging through.
Yeah, I feel like most of what we had to say we got when we went through like person by person. So.
I'm really just reading the notes now just to make sure that we got everything.
Yeah, right.
The only challenge was that battering ram that we had spoke about before. Tony wanted to rest; he got tired. But Team World did win anyway. George is shooketh, and he wants to warn David that Kirby is pushing for his vote out. Kirby didn't dig that. Considered voting out George, which David also supported. Sarah didn't want to appear shifty. Okay, so she did promise to vote David, but you could tell that she was a little shaky on that one.
Yeah.
David did call attention to Kirby's gameplay at Tribal, which I will say has been very impressive. You are the newest player to these people that clearly have relationships outside. Like, you can tell that Janine and Luke, they certainly know each other. Like, everyone knows everyone on the Australia tribe.
Yeah.
So I do think that it's interesting that people are putting Kirby in this leadership position when she's the newest.
Yeah,
and that really speaks to Kirby's mist.
For someone who has only played once, basically never watched any Survivor, has no connections to any of these people, and yet somehow she's she's so impressive.
Floating in the water, calling the shots. My God, isn't she something else? Way to go, Curbs! I love it. So at Tribal, she did push, to her allies to keep the vote on David, which, they obviously did. And David did go home. David went home. And that was episode 2. So to go to 3, George had lied when Luke said he wanted Shani out, tried to paint Luke as untrustworthy. Luke is untrustworthy. We do know that from the way that he played before. That's why he's the king of the jungle, because he loves his chaos. So there's that. I just don't like George saying it because I don't think George is trustworthy either. So how dare you call somebody what you are? Like, who do you think you are?
George made some really weird and bad moves too. Like that whole awkward thing where David was like, "Well, George, who's pushing my name?" And George was like, "She's right here." And Kirby standing right next to him. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing? And it's like, do you think that maybe he just didn't really want to play this game?
I don't know.
That thought just crossed my mind. Like, maybe you didn't want to not be included, but you're like, I don't really want to play.
Yeah, I don't want to be here.
I'm just gonna just go out and just do whatever. But I just want to be able to say that I was part of it because I'm a legend.
Right. Yeah.
I don't not hear that.
Yeah, just a passing thought. I have no evidence to support this, Just as we're sitting here just chatting our Strat as we do. Chatting our Strat. So Tony is still, he's a little worried about the female majority. He starts looking for the key. But Parvati found it first. Parvati found it first. I did like that in order to hide it, she gave it to Sari. That really speaks to the foundation that these two have.
Yeah.
And that's why you got to go back and watch and understand where that came from, because that's huge. Look, there's no world in which Parvati would have given this to Cass or to Lisa.
Right.
Like, absolutely not. So I think that's really, really cool to watch. But yeah, gives it to Suri. Then they did open it, and then Parvati stayed seated on it because Tony came around.
This was
I
so
really,
awkward.
It
oh
was
my god, it was
it was
horrible.
so strong. I want to like rip my skin off watching this.
I thought for sure that he had seen it or was going to
Yeah.
see it. I did
Yeah.
not expect this to end with him not noticing.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought for sure they were going to get caught.
Mm-hmm.
God.
Mm-hmm. But they pulled it off because apparently you needed the key to go back in the lock in order to lock it back. Which,
Mm.
good on you, Australia, for making that a thing
Yeah.
and creating this moment. Because America
Yeah.
would have made this so you could just boop.
Yeah.
Now,
I
wasn't there?
was,
Oh, go ahead.
I was sitting on the couch, just literally saying out loud, like, "Oh my god!" There were so many moments in these 3 episodes that I was like, "I cannot believe what I'm watching."
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't there a season of Australian Survivor where somebody like broke the box open because they couldn't open it? Was that Australia? Or was that
No, I
something
think that was
else?
US.
That was US.
Right?
Like they, I truly don't remember. I just remember the box being broken open. I remember
That
thinking,
definitely
is that
happened.
allowed? I'm like, are you allowed to do that? Like, I feel like it's supposed to have a lock on it. That's
I
supposed
feel
to
like
mean something.
I do remember that happening. I feel like on US Survivor.
I also feel like it was because I feel like we were
Yeah, it
talking
could have
about how
been.
like,
It
oh,
could have
this is
been.
made in such a janky way. This would never happen on Australian Survivor. Like I feel like that was the way we talked about it.
That's very possible. It's very possible. Yeah, I really don't remember
I don't
because I
remember.
remember thinking I was like, wait, just break it open. Why
Oh,
y'all being
wait.
so polite?
Hold on a sec. We might be wrong because this also sounds familiar too. There's from Ferris's season and Kirby's season. Remember Mark? I think Mark broke into a box.
Mm.
There's something I'm reading on Reddit here. So in the most recent season of Survivor AU, in the first few episodes of the season, Ferris found a box containing an idol and alerted Mark. But there was a box in his side of the island as well because they weren't playing together.
Yes.
And then when Ferris like
Right?
told him
Didn't he
about the
dig it up,
box,
or maybe not
yeah,
dig it up, but
because I
something?
guess Ferris found it the right way, right? Like found a clue, got a key, opened it, and then he was like, "Oh, by the way, look for a box on your island." And Mark just went
This is familiar, yeah.
straight for the box and just like slammed it on a rock or something.
Oh, so it was Australian Survivor.
Yeah.
Oh. I stand
All right.
corrected.
Oh, 3 cheers for me.
It's just funny because I wonder if something.
Power.
I guess I wonder if something similar happened in U.S. Survivor or something because that sounded familiar to me too. Didn't
maybe
like
something
Jem?
good.
Didn't Jem find like? Remember in her season? Didn't she find like a box or something, and then she buried it to
God.
like throw everybody off? Like I feel like something else happened. Like, and then she.
If it was Gem, I feel like you should remember that because that was supposed to be your girl. We'll have to do some more research. We'll be back with more on that. But okay. So, Parvati obviously was seated on it, and they needed to use the key to relock the lock to hide this from Tony, but then they ended up getting inside, and it was just a clue. Which I
crazy clue.
black. Yeah, it is a crazy clue, but that's ridiculous.
How very American Survivor.
Yes, to put them through all of this for that I thought was kind of whack. But the clue was that there was a hidden immunity idol hidden in Jonathan's podium. So this is truly, if you are in a lot of trouble, you feel like you're done, that's your last ditch effort. Just go run over there. Everyone's gonna be like, what are
how
you
else
doing?
do you possibly do that? Yeah.
Right, because it has to be in a moment like that because you can't just go over there and just take it and go sit back down.
And no one asks any questions.
Right. And because even if they notice it or if they don't, you still have to use it right away because they're going to suspect it. So I think it's kind of silly, but
it would be so fun though.
Goes for it.
Like it would be so fun if there was like a particularly live tribal and everybody's running around and whispering and they're all scrambling and then Parvati just walks up and goes boop and grabs it while they're all freaking out. Like I would live if that's how.
And even if they are freaking out, like what do? Do you make a big scene of it when she does it, or do you just let it go? Depends on who sees.
No, but I'm saying like maybe they don't even see it happen if it's like a live enough tribal.
Yeah, there's it can be fun either way. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And all the women on the World Tribe know about this, right? They didn't keep it a secret from anyone. Suri, Parvati, Lisa, Cass all know. Was the
Yeah,
clue?
because
I think.
I think so.
Lisa was the decoy.
So like that's enough people that like if you had, let's say Suri goes for the idol, and then Parvati, Cass, and Lisa, just all they have to do is distract Tommy and Tony for for
Yeah.
a brief period of time. Maybe Suri actually could pull it off
Mm-hmm.
in a scramble.
Yeah. So there's that. The challenge was, the sandbags that we were talking about. That's where Lisa was super, super impressive. That's where World wins. I actually don't think that Suri struggled as much as she acted like she did. I think she just didn't want to do it. And I think she was just like, you know what? The hell with this. Like, if we lose, I know I'm good. So whatever.
Yeah,
That's how I.
oh,
That's really how
oops.
I saw that.
Oh, did I take my hand off? Oops.
Oh damn, y'all got this. Oof. And she's holding on to her back. Like, no, I think that Sari could have done better here. I think she didn't care. She didn't
That's
care.
so funny.
Um the Aussies over there, George was concocting a split vote on Janine and Luke to pit them against each other because he thought that he was really in control of things, right? He thought they would be able to cannibalize each other, is I think what he said.
That sounds right.
Shauna didn't like it. She was irritated that George was sharing some information with the other tribe at the challenge, and she's like, "He's got to go. He's got to go."
He's crazy.
He was
and-
very chatty during that challenge.
Yeah, because again, it's just that overconfidence that he has that like that's what makes me almost believe like would you just being a jerk on purpose because you didn't really care in this? Because
Right.
there are elements to George's game in this season that I felt like were not quite him before. He was equally annoying in confessionals, like that's always kind of what he's been, but it was balanced by great strategy, and this was not that.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
it makes you feel like it was intentional, at least for me.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I guess we'll never get that answer, but
we won't. Maybe one day. You never know. Maybe somebody will slide in our DMs and want to have a larger conversation. We're waiting. We're waiting. It's 11:55 p.m. Eastern time over here in New York, and it's time for bed. So is there anything else that we have to say regarding Australia versus the world?
I was curious because the reason why we did not do a draft is because I unfortunately was spoiled and I know who the winner is. But I had mentioned this in the group chat. Kyle had said, I was pretty sure I know who the winner was, but he's already gone. And I was just curious who you thought the winner was going to be.
Oh, I thought the winner was going to be
I think my
David.
computer froze again. I don't know if you can hear me. That's so annoying because I just asked you a question and now I can't hear the answer.
Oh, we can hear you.
I'll be back in like
That's
2 seconds, probably. Please hold.
Jeez, she's just talking over us now. All right, so she doesn't know the answers to the question. I'm going to answer it for the people watching and the people listening, and maybe Gina can catch up on the YouTube.
Here now. I'm here now.
She's back. She's back.
That was such an annoying time for my Wi-Fi to cut out. I just asked you a question.
I thought that David was going to win because we already knew that he was going to be the new host. So I thought that was his way in.
It's setup. Like, sure.
Yes, this is the best that we've got in Australia. Our only 2-time winner of Australian Survivor. So fitting that he's the host. And it makes it now knowing that he went out, he was first boot on the Australian side, makes it even more egregious that you let go of an icon like Jonathan LaPaglia to let this loser take over.
I thought it was like when he left. So, like, how much information do we have about David becoming the host? Because like the way he left too, when they voted him out, he was like, "I'm pretty sure this will be my last time playing, so you guys retired me." And I'm like, does he
Mhm.
already know that he's going to become the new host? That he's walking up to JLP
It
and
was
like,
so gross. It was so gross.
because I'm like, does JLP know that he's getting replaced by this guy? Like,
No,
I don't know.
JLP did not know because when he was fired, did you see his post?
Oh, that's right. You're right.
Wait,
You're
Yeah.
so right.
remind me, refresh my memory.
Yeah, Jonathan LaPaglia had posted that very day and said that I was blindsided today when I got the call that I was told that I was not going to continue
Oh.
on
Yeah, you're right.
as
I
the host.
forgot
So
about that.
he most certainly did not
Oh, so
know. And
he
like,
so he found out the same day as the press release, or
yes, that's what. Well, that's when he posted.
oh,
I don't
gotcha.
know when this phone call
Right.
actually happened, but his post went up the same day as the press release. Yeah.
Heard.
Because like and like I could be wrong, but the way that David said that, like, this will be my last time
No,
playing,
very
so
ominous.
right,
Mhm.
and then I'm like, so it would be such a weird, creepy feeling to me if like it turned out that David got voted out, knew he was going to be taking JLP's job, and like walked up to him and looked him in the eye without JLP even knowing that he was going to get replaced.
Just disgusting.
Like,
And
Mhm.
yeah, and did you see his post when he announced that he was the host? Like, you were so disrespectful that you don't even mention JL
yeah,
all in your post.
Mm.
You used the podcast, Instagram to say something sassy regarding this, um, and I commented right on his post. Well, first I shared it on our story, and I wrote, "Boo, tomato." When I commented as the podcast, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna own it right here, and I said, "Just stop. This post is so incredibly disrespectful to Jonathan LaPaglia," and I tagged him. And I said, "How do you not even mention him? This is so disgusting, bro. You take the man's job after being second boot on the most recent acknowledge the man that elevated Survivor AU to where it is. Believe it or not, it isn't just about the players. JLP adds so much, which was acknowledged season after season. You could at least wish the man well."
right,
Get
right.
him.
Yeah, sorry, I will never stop defending JLP.
And that's fair.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That man, he is fantastic. He is of all the reality TV that we watch, like I highly revere Julie because she's special to me, and I think that Arissa is fantastic what she does for Big Brother. But as fantastic as Arissa is, I feel like Jonathan is that for Survivor.
Sure.
You know, I was really amazed with Jeff the very first time I watched Survivor like years ago, but as the years went on, I'm less and less enamored with him, and I'm more and more impressed with JLP. These
Well,
Yeah,
because
tribals are
most of
so
Jeff's
much more
tribals are so
intense.
metaphorical.
Yes, it's just all metaphors. No one actually says anything. JLP like is paying attention to the game. He's asking questions that force you to say things you wouldn't want to say.
yeah. He
You
has
can
such
see
good
them get
tribals.
yes, you can see that physically they get uncomfortable with his questions.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't happen in American Survivor. Jeff asks a question and they're just excited to respond because they've got a great metaphor lined up. And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
it just sucks. Like, it just sucks.
I
And it
know,
doesn't
I
actually
know.
mean
Um,
anything.
no,
JLP, like
no.
you could scramble for hours before a tribal, lock in with everybody, feel good, feel confident, and within 2 minutes of questioning, JLP could make you start questioning every single decision you were about to make. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Every single decision you were about to make, every single conversation you already had, you're sitting, you're
Mm-hmm.
like, what is that? You know that the white lady with the the one that has the calculations going
Oh, the
around
math.
and she's
yeah,
and like that's what JLP does. Wow, Tommy is up late. Hello, good evening, good
Hi,
evening.
Tommy.
Uh,
Tommy. You know, I also have to say this post. I didn't see this before, but Shawnee actually commented on this same post that you posted on,
Gross.
Kyle,
Boo.
and she wrote, "So by retiring, in quotes, you meant getting a promotion. Congrats! Can't wait to watch." And I was just like, so I'm like, it really feels like he knew, and that just feels
Yeah.
very icky to me. It feels very
It's so
icky.
icky. It's so icky. And then watching him, even when like JLP was like snuffing his torch, and he's just like, ah, it
That
just gives you
smile,
a
right? That
chill.
smile.
Yes, it's like I know,
yeah.
I know.
And that exactly, and that in that exact
Mhm.
moment, like it was like going through his head. It was like, I can't wait till I'm doing this next season. Like I'm the one
Ah,
snuffing the torch. It almost felt like
disgusting.
David thought that he was snuffing JLP's torch as JLP
Ah,
was snuffing his
ah,
torch.
man.
Like
Ah. Where's the sound? No, that's not even enough. That's not even enough. We need a boo sound in here. We need a boo sound. That's just the most negative sound I have. The only thing is left magical twinkle, which it is not. And then drum snare roll. We got nothing. We need more negative sounds. But yeah, he really sucks. He really sucks. And unfortunately, I'm going to watch the next season. The next season of Australian Survivor is themed redemption, and the rumor out there is that Simon is back with his cookie idol. You know, and I
Yep.
will watch anything that Simon's on. I'll watch anything.
the
Love.
cookie idol, the cookie idol that he kept in his butt, and then like,
And
then
cookie idol he shoved up his ass, and it wasn't
And then
worth
made people touch
anything.
it.
yeah, I was gonna say, and then he would take it out of his ass and hand it to people.
Not even, didn't he? Like he had somebody like grab his, but he's like, "Do you want to touch it?" And
Oh
then,
yeah,
like,
didn't someone
look
reach
for
in?
it.
Yeah, I think someone reached into his pants.
Yeah.
You're right.
Reach into his ass. I love him. I can't get enough. Yeah, so if he's on it, I'm definitely going to watch. And even if he wasn't, I was still going to watch because Australian Survivor is by far the most superior Survivor to exist, at least from what I've seen. I did watch Survivor UK. Justice for that. Justice for that. No one's talking about that enough. That was a great series. That was a great series. Did not deserve the cancellation. The reboot was good. Justice for Tanuke. But then, like, I haven't watched these other ones. I'd love to watch New Zealand. Where can we find it? If you're in the comments or you find us after, like, please let us know. I'm very intrigued by that. And I want to know where to find Survivor South Africa. Is that on YouTube? Is there a playlist we can find? Please send it to us at Strat Chat Pod. I'll watch it in the weekend.
Which country was there? Was somebody who was on the challenge that was on an international Survivor? Was that also?
Somebody
even
from the
remember.
challenge was on it.
It was that like Spies, Lies, and Allies season.
Are you talking about Turbo?
No.
Was it?
He was like Survivor.
I think Berna was on Survivor. Right?
Berna, yeah, like Survivor Turkey.
Turkey.
Yeah, they don't speak English in that one though. That would have to be a subtitle one. But if we could find it and you can turn on some subtitle, I'm not opposed to this. It would be a slower watch. It'd be a slower watch. But I'm in it. If they play like this, don't fuck with me.
Right, only if it's good.
If they play like us Americans, I'm not interested. Save it. But otherwise, slide into our DMs. All right, and let me know where we can find it. So that's that. That's that.
Yeah, I'm just excited to see
Tommy
what happens.
Saying we probably shouldn't post this. We wouldn't show this. That's a secret. That's a secret. Shh. We don't want people to know how we watch these things. That's why we say slide in the DMs. Right? It's not public. No, we don't want people to get shut down. So we talk about that. That's secret society.
Secret society.
The Midnight Society. You know? Do you remember that from Are You Afraid of the Dark? The Midnight Society?
Uh-huh.
Gina has no idea. She's too young.
I know.
It didn't sound genuine. It sounded like you just wouldn't be part of it.
No, of course I know. It's spooky ooky.
Spooky ooky. That's where we first met Tucker.
Wait.
Well, I think his name was Tucker on... Was it on Are You Afraid of the Dark? Was it in Mean Girls? What was his name in Mean Girls? He was the guy that Gretchen Wieners wanted to be with, but he wasn't really giving her the time of day. He was the younger brother of the main guy who told the stories.
Heard. Okay, you said Tucker. I'm thinking Big Brother Tucker, and I said, what do you mean?
No, I was actually staying on topic, believe it or not, at this late hour. After several beatboxes and weed, I was still on topic. Believe it or not. All right, it's late. Anything else for Australian Survivor, Australia v. the World.
I just can't believe that we have a 8-3 split now, women to men. That's wild. I love it, but it's just I can't wait to see how this plays out. I mean,
Yeah.
1 week in, and there's 8 women and 3 men left, and I just see how these men survive.
All the evictees were men this week. That's fantastic. That
You'll love to
seems to be
see it.
yeah, that's a trend that's really carrying, internationally across
Big
shows, right?
Yeah.
We just fuck these men. Get them out of here. Get them out.
It's about time. I'm tired of seeing guys just run the shows and pick off, yeah.
Unless they're smoking hot, they can go. So what are we going to do coming up, right? So we know that we have another 3 episodes dropping this week. We've got Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. John and I are unavailable on Thursday the 28th. What I would submit for approval in the Strat Chat Society is like, what is happening Friday morning? Is Gina working? Is John working?
I got nothing.
I'm around. Yeah, I'm available.
Maybe we chat in the morning.
I'm done for
I do have an appointment to get a haircut at noon. Maybe I'll push it back to like 2 or 3 to make sure we have some time, because we got to do Big Brother and we got to do Australian Survivors. Maybe I'll push that back. But maybe that's what we do to handle this, because I don't want to miss a week. I'm sure John doesn't. So that's all the more reason to follow us on the socials. We're going to be back in some fashion on the 29th, and we're going to be really excited. There's going to be so many. We would have had another 3 cycles of this, right? So much to get into. So yeah, find us on the socials at Strat Chat Pod. Otherwise, I think we're out of here, right? We had enough. We're full. We're full. Yeah. Thank you so much for hanging. We love Australia!